Yo, what's up people and welcome to the channel. Today I'm going to be showing you 4 ways to make your soulful samples just like Frank Dukes. These are 4 methods that I've picked up and used along the process of learning how to make these type of samples. So the first technique is, which is pretty simple, and it's just knowing how to play the keys. So for myself, I'm quite a beginner when it comes to playing the keys, but what I do suggest is to just play the keys in the white notes. So that's either sticking to an A minor or a C major, but I like to tend to stick to the A minor because I like the darker sort of samples. And as you can see here, this is just a minor 11th, and I've just strummed this in with the keys just so it gives that natural feeling, kind of like this, so like that, and that just gives it that natural feeling. And I'm sticking to the same just chords, so this is just the same chord, but I'm just flipping around the bass note, so it's just sort of going up and down, just making that nice like rhythm. If you can't record and play keys, then I just suggest just playing every bar just separately and just recording them that way. And as you can see here, so that's just minor and major notes, and that's just going up, so it just gives it a cool flavour. And listen, so it's like that. In that way you're not feeling the keys, just pitch it up and down. So the second technique, and we all know that Frank Duke likes to use bass guitars, but knowing how to use them correctly to give rhythm and just that natural sound. So as you can see here, this is just all over the place. This is just following the root notes, but this is just having them little highlights, so it gives that extra bounce and rhythm. What's key about this is the velocity. So I'm using VSTs because obviously I can't play a bass guitar, so just messing with the velocity so it sounds realistic, and that's the best way to make it sound like it's actually being played. And as you can see here, zooming in, if I'm just going across, some of them are off the grid, some of them are longer than the other, shorter than the other. That's just obviously making it even more natural. So this is what the bass sounds like. That together with the keys, that's how you build a nice rhythm. So together. So with the bass, you want it to be either in line sort of with the keys, or just having a bounce off the keys, not so it's just out of rhythm, so it's just making that natural feel. And with the rhythm already there from the guitar and piano, it just makes adding percussion and vocals so much more simple. And that takes me on to the third tip, so using envelopes correctly. You can use these on vocals, live sounds, any sounds really, but I like to use them on vocals and just live instruments just to give that natural rhythm. So we'll listen to these 3 vocals that I've recorded.
Every time you try to change the motion, every time you get it in abundance, I was trying to fuck you in the heart off, tell myself that I'm sorry, I was trying to make it but I'm focused. Every time you get it, you just hold it. My best, but I let you focus. I was just focused.
So as you can see, 3 different vocals, but they're stacking on top of each other perfectly through panning. And what I mean about using envelopes, so let's just take the first vocal for instance. This is a side chaining effect. This is just pulsing in with the mix at 61.
Every time you try to change the motion,
so it's just coming in and out, and it's just giving that like nice like bouncing like swing effect to my voice. And then you can use panning, which is very good because it allows space for other elements to shine. So I've just got this just going left to right, and they're just catching the listener out. And as you can see here, another envelope, just a low pass filter coming in at the end, so it's sort of taking it away subtly, so it's building back in. So the second vocal, so I made this like weird sidechain volume effect with a 1/8 dotted, which is just sort of off the grid a little bit, but it's just making natural elements again. And then I've used this like 2-bar width, so it's just making it more wide and just standing out from the other vocal. And again, for the third vocal, a different 1/8 length, different rhythm, different just cutting of the volume. And that's what sort of makes it sound so natural together. I like to use these as strings. You see it's pulsing in, it sounds like it's actually being played. And for the fourth and last technique is just layering sounds and just manipulating them so they just give it a different feel than usual. So I've got 3 sounds here: electric piano, I've got a mellotron like synth keys, then I've got another synth keys which is like a high pitched weird sound that's trippy, but you can make nice textures out of. So I've used the same chords from the piano, but I've just transposed some keys to be higher just to give it a different like listen. So if we just listen to this and see what the textures are. So I've stacked this sound, so I've got one just playing on the left so to give more space, and one playing on the right, as you can see, in mono. All I've got on this electric piano is just another side chain to give it extra movement. On one of the synth keys, I've just got this spring reverb to just give it that nice amped, like gritty sound. And on this third like pigment synth keys, this sketch cassette just to give it a nice like saturated sound. And as you can see here, I've routed them into a mix bus, so I can just make a cool texture. So I've added this phaser on it. It gives a sort of different sound from the piano, breaks it down a little bit. Then I've used this 64 kilobits like lossy sound just to really like make it gritty and just take away like the quality of it. And when I say taking away the quality, I don't mean just ruining it. It just makes it sound different to what it is. So I just wanted to make extra textures, so I've exported it, brought it up by a semitone. So that sounds different to the main one. Why is that? It's because I've added even more processing on top just to give it a different sound to what it actually was. Again, I've got this spatial like phaser sound, this filter sound, so it's rising up, so it's not as harsh, but where it's a higher pitch. Then I've used this simmer sound, and it really makes it more bright and just like an atmosphere. And then as you can see here, I've just reversed some little bits just to give it a different flavor. So together these both sound like this. So together, when having all these elements together, this is how the whole sample sounds.
Every time you try to change the motion, every time you get it in abundance, I was trying to fuck you in the hole. Tell myself that I'm sorry. I was trying to make it, but I'm focused. Every time you get it, you just whisper. My best friend and your focus. Focus, let's just focus.
So yeah, as you can see, that just comes together perfectly, fits the rhythm, has nice elements panned left to right. So if you like these tips, you know what to do. Subscribe to my channel for more videos, comment down below what you want to see next, and I'll see you in the next one.